Hey YouTubers, Mike Borders with the Mike Borders channel. Thank you for watching. Today we are talking about J-B Weld high temperature red silicone or gasket maker, and this is the 100% silicone RTV option. The RTV stands for room temperature vulcanized. In this video I want to do two things. Number one, open the package and talk more about the actual product, and then number two, put the product to work. We are working on a jet ski and we are going to create a bead for that watertight seal for the upper manifold connecting to the lower manifold of our jet ski. Let's get started. So here is the package. Again, J-B Weld high temperature red silicone gasket maker and sealant. The features: set time 1 hour. We'll talk more about that during the actual project. Temperature resistant up to 650 degrees Fahrenheit. That's important in the event that you're working on things like engines. And the cure color is red. And this is great for oil pans, valve covers, exhaust manifolds, which we are working on our jet ski, water pumps, timing covers, differential covers, drive housings, oven doors, and many more. In the top right corner, according to J-B Weld, this is the world's strongest bond, so that's awesome. And again, as I just mentioned, the RTV, room temperature vulcanized 100% silicone gasket maker and sealant. On the back side, it talks more about the high temp red silicone, and down at the very bottom is the usage directions. We will run you through this during the project. The thing to point out is the 20 to 30 minutes cure time for the silicone to actually make it to its tacky state prior to actually pressing the two manifolds together in our project. And as always, the first aid, it's important to read all of this prior to actually using it. So with that said, let's go ahead and open up the package, and we are going to puncture the actual seal, cut the tip off of the cap, and as you can see, the cap has different size increments or measurement cut points. We are going to have a smaller bead for the project, so we will show you where to cut for that. We have it out of the package, and this cap is where we will actually puncture. You can see this point right here, the puncture point. We will untwist this, and we will flip this cap upside down, and we will re-screw this cap on this portion of the tube, and as you tighten it, that puncture point will puncture a hole in that top portion there. And to puncture that, I needed both hands. From here, we will grab the X-Acto knife and cut this cap to our specific measurement for our project. Grab my X-Acto knife. I've set the blade to a good length for the cut. And again, this is the cap, and the J-B Weld company has already designed tapered or beveled sections on this cap to cut to make a bead. And you want to cut these at an angle. And since we are working with a very small area on the manifold, we are going to cut at the top portion in between the first and second little beveled or tapered point to create that smaller bead. And as you cut, you want to be very careful, and you want to cut at an angle, as you can see here. And to go all the way through and finish the cut, I needed both hands. So again, here is the section that we cut off. There's the small hole that's going to create a smaller bead for our gasket. From here, we will connect this to the J-B Weld tube. Check this out. We're working on a 2003 Sea-Doo GTX DI direct injection. And let me come around to this side here. Here is the engine. We've taken the seats off, the actual center mount, and the top manifold here, cast iron, it connects to the lower manifold exhaust, and this clamp secures it. We are going to remove this whole thing, put a new one on, and use that J-B Weld gasket sealer to connect these two pipes, then secure the clamp and create that watertight seal. However, in this video, we're not going to show you how to do all of that. If you're curious, we'll post a video at the end showing you how to replace the entire manifold in your jet ski if you have one. At this point, I have the upper manifold removed, and from here, we want to spend a couple minutes. You can see the old gasket sealant. You can peel this stuff away. Our goal is to make this entire face completely soft, clean, and clear of the old gasket. I have removed as much of the old silicone gasket sealant as I can from here. Again, just make sure that this face is clean, clear, and dry. Now let's head to the jet ski and do the same cleaning on the surface of the lower manifold. Got the face of the lower manifold cleaned up, and see this little beveled groove here? That is where the new gasket, the copper ring, is going to go. And again, out with the old, in with the new. Apply to one side and assemble. Allow 20 to 30 minutes until silicone is firm, basically a tacky state. And allow 24 hours for full cure to maximum strength. Works best if room temperature is above 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. And you'll notice the gasket sealant that I didn't get all the way off on the outer portion of the beveled lip. We are going to run a bead on the inner portion and a small bead on the outer portion. Again, this is our manifold for our jet ski. Your surface could be different, and the goal is to make a continuous bead all the way around without separating the actual bead. And in the event that you do separate it, it's not the end of the world. Just go ahead and add a little bit of the sealant in that gap. I'm going to start down at the bottom, and again, a continuous bead. Try to alleviate any gaps. And from here, I will continue and do the entire outer ring. Both inner and outer bead have been applied. Now it's just time to be patient. We need to wait 30 minutes and allow this sealant to dry to its tacky state. We also ran a bead on the surface or face of the lower manifold where the copper ring will be inserted. A few things I want to talk about. When you insert the actual manifold, do your best to not tug and move that upper manifold. The more you move this portion during the process of tightening other things, the more likely you're going to mess up that bead. So be very, very careful. Top manifold is in place and touching the actual lower manifold. From here, I secured that. Hand tighten these two, and now I'm going to reposition this bracket. Make sure that they go over this groove, and I'm going to slowly tighten this. Do not over tighten it. Your goal is to tighten it just until this actual gap has the gasket sealant bleeding out of it. Carefully and slowly tighten this ring on. At this point I have the clamp properly tightened, and it's hard to see, but there is a little bit of that sealant bleeding out. Again, do not over tighten that, because then you'll push all that sealant out, and that's not good. That's it, YouTubers. I hope the video helped. Do us a favor, below the video you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely go to your settings, turn on your YouTube notification bell. Once you do that, every video that we upload, you will be notified. You will be able to stay up to date with us, and that will be awesome. Thanks again for watching.